I'm Joshua Dickey. With almost 20 years of heavy landscape construction and commercial excavation experience, I've decided to take this show on the road. I'm bringing you Outdoor Upgrade. So here we are. We're on our way up to Chris and Linda's house. It's a couple that wants to upgrade. Not exactly sure what they want to do. I know that they want. They mentioned that they want to be able to entertain and have people out and have a gathering point in their backyard. So we're gonna pull in and meet Chris and Linda and see how we can upgrade them. They're coming out now. Evening.
How are you?
Good. Nice to see you
Dave.
guys. We're here to upgrade. What do you got?
Well, looking to have a space out back that we can do some entertaining, barbecuing, fire pit, just kind of a general entertaining area where it's a rough, unfinished area right now.
All right. Well, let me grab my pad and we'll go take a look.
All right, great.
So Chris and Linda's yard was huge. There was a lot to work with here. A lot of area for entertaining, so I was excited. Due to the high sand content in the soil, the grass was looking pretty ratty, and we definitely had to do something about that insulation board on the side of the foundation. There was a few little things we were going to have to deal with in this upgrade.
This wall here, this is about the height I want to try to have that wall.
There was a slope coming down the back of the hill. Chris was concerned about it, so we talked about putting a retaining wall in there, and Linda had a pretty good idea that she wanted a fire pit, and exactly where she wanted it. So we just left Chris and Linda's. Got some ideas brewing around in my head. We're gonna put in a seating wall on the right back side of their house, probably about 25 feet long. And give them about 1,000 square feet of patio. That way they can get off that nasty grass underneath their deck. We're gonna put in a fire pit, but I gotta check with the fire warden here in town because they got some funny laws here in New Hampshire around how close a fire pit can be to your house. So all in all, I think it's gonna be a pretty slick change. They're gonna get upgraded pretty good. Peace. Morning. Here we are at another yard that needs to be upgraded. We're at Chris and Linda's house. They got a hold of us because they had a pretty boring backyard. No place to entertain, nothing to do in their backyard. They've been here for about 2 years. They built the house. So we came in, we met with them, and we gave them a pretty good design, and they approved it, and let's go check it out. All right, here we're starting with a 3-foot retaining wall right off the corner of the house here. This is going to be for future expansion. They want to put another retaining wall here with a set of stairs going up. And then we're going to start pretty much right at the edge of the house. We're going to go this way with a patio with jagged edging along pretty much the same line as the deck here. And then when we get over here to the other side, that's where the excitement happens. We've got a 24-foot long, 24-inch high sitting wall for people to sit on. And this is going to be the real heart of their entertaining. They're going to put a fire pit over here that they can sit around and enjoy their nice summer nights sipping on their pina coladas or margaritas. The site was pretty sandy, so we could have dug the foundation to the wall by hand, but we wanted to move fast, so we brought in the digger. The dirt pile was all the way on the other side of the house. So the digger just stacked the dirt to the side and let the loader come get it. So on the show, what we do is we work with different specialists for each area of the job. And for this job, all our hardscapes are being done by Maple Creek Landworks. And from Maple Creek Landworks, we have Rebecca Bailey.
Hey, Joshua. We are so excited about this job. These people have a wonderful view, but don't have a great place to take it in. So we're putting in a sitting wall and a fire pit today, and tomorrow we pour their patio. It is just so exciting. Thanks so much for having us on.
So we're at the point now where the foundation of the wall's dug out. We're going to cut rebar 42 inches, stick it down in, and we want to have 4-inch drainage pipe to relieve any hydraulic pressure that builds up behind this wall, as there is a little bit of a slope, so when the water comes in the ground, it will build up behind this concrete wall. So basically it's just like a pressure check valve that goes behind the wall and relieves it. So what we got Carl over here doing is he's tying the rebar off for the wall. And what that does is it gives us a metal infrastructure inside the wall that keeps it just a little stronger and prevents anything from happening.
Makes it, you know, more structurally sound.
All right, Nathan, we've got a half an hour till the concrete truck gets here, so you're good to go?
We're good.
Great. So half an hour until the concrete truck gets here. When it gets here, we're going to put in our additive. That is part of the stonemaker's process. We're going to check the slump of the concrete. The slump is how thick it is or how thin it is. When we're doing walls like we're doing today, we wanted a thicker slump because it's going to work like a malleable clay. Think of clay on a potter's wheel. We're going to throw it on there. It's going to look like a mess. But then we're going to slowly start building it up with no forms, all with shovels and good old hands. So can't wait to show you the next steps.
Just prepping the sub base real quick before the concrete comes. We're going to throw our boards down. I just wanted to get this done before concrete came. So we needed to get the subgrade underneath the stone all set. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to compact it down, get my plywood in for when we're doing our concrete work, and then get a little bit of stone over there where the fire pit's going. Concrete truck was right on time. Now we can add the Stonemaker's additive. Stonemaker's is a pretty amazing product. We put in this emulsifier and then we're able to stack concrete without a form. That's right, concrete without a form. So concrete's looking good. I'm going to back that truck up, jump in the skid steer, and start shuttling Crete over. So we're about to get real busy. We wanted to get the concrete truck as close as we could to the pour. There's 3 ways to do concrete. Directly off the truck, with a wheelbarrow, or with a machine with a bucket. We chose the last one. That was the fastest for this application. At this point, it's a real mess. Looks like just a pile of mud being stacked with shovels. But pretty soon, they'll start carving it and texturing it, and it'll look like a real stone wall. It was pretty humid and pretty hot. The concrete started setting up fast, so I got out and started helping them. Sun's out, it's hot, setting up quick. All hands on deck. Squaring this wall up. We're going to be texturing it soon. Carving it and texturing it soon. Good stuff. So we're right in the thick of it. I'll introduce the Maple Creek crew. Over here, looking all hot and sweaty, is Carl to my right. You got Rebecca down on the end that you met earlier. And to my left, you got Nathan.
Okay, let me know when you're done with it. I'm going to swing it over here.
Okay. The wall's just about ready to be textured. So Nathan's going to get on the wall and he's going to start carving it and giving it that shape. And then Carl's going to follow him. He's going to hit it with a bag that's got a release agent on it, and that'll pull the cream to the surface. And then he'll hit it with the Stonemaker's texture mats that they have, and that'll give it that rock feeling, that rock texture and look. So stay tuned, it's gonna look pretty cool.
So the neat thing about this process is that it's all freehand. So you get to exercise a little bit of art. You gotta kind of imagine what a real stone wall looks like and try to replicate it as best as you can.
He's not a laborer, he's an artist.
That's right.
While I was helping square up the wall, we added some emulsifier to the concrete to keep it loose. But then when it was time to use it, we spun it to dry it out, and then it got stuck in the truck. So the concrete truck left. We're going to continue our yoga exercises and breathing. Take it easy, because really there's no other pressure for the rest of the night. Although if you look up there, it might rain. And about 10 minutes after, it started raining. We are done texturing the wall. As you can see, it looks like stone. It's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna go get the homeowner, see what he thinks about the texture, see what he thinks about the cut, and we're gonna start continue prepping the patio, get everything picked up, cleaned off, and call it a day. The patio was gonna be high enough, we didn't even have to dig out any of the soil underneath. Just had to stack the rock on top of it. We use 3/4 inch round stone because it doesn't compact as hard and leaves a little bit of air pocket, which is good for drainage. So here we are, we're wrapping up day one. We're beat. We got the wall in on one side of the house, the wall on the other side is pretty much prepped. We're gonna go over that with a veneer tomorrow. We're gonna do the fire pit tomorrow. We're gonna do the veneer on the back of the house tomorrow. All in all, it was a good day. We didn't get quite as much as done as we wanted to, but you just gotta roll with the punches. We'll be back tomorrow. So we're here on day two. We're slowing it down a bit. We're gonna be finishing the wall that we ran out of concrete on yesterday, doing the fire pit. We're gonna finish prepping the patio. And then we got some veneer work that's gonna be pretty cool that we're gonna do on the back of the house. We're gonna go right up the insulation board, and we're gonna put some diamond mesh on it, and then we're gonna take that concrete right up the wall so it looks like an extension of the wall going right into the house. To ensure grade quality, Maple Creek was using a combination of a laser transit and old school levels. The diamond mesh is integral to the veneer work. It holds a scratch coat firmly on the insulation board, which is secured to the foundation. So the concrete's here, so we're gonna get started on the fire pit, and we're gonna finish up that wall that we ran out of concrete on yesterday. The guy's sitting there waiting for me, so I gotta get in the machine and go.
This is when the fun begins.
Good stuff, it's nice and dry. So what we got, we're at the point now where they can start reconstituting and then plasterizing the outside. They're gonna get it really creamy, and then they're gonna take their pool trowels and they're gonna go right up the outside. As soon as that sets up just a little bit, they'll be ready to carve it, just like this wall that we did yesterday. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the other wall across the house. So yesterday, the concrete dried up in the concrete truck, so it basically shorted us the concrete that we needed to finish this wall here and the fire pit. So now what we're doing is we cut some groove joints in. I'm gonna plasterize this and run it right up the outside of this, and it'll be like just like it would be had we never run out. So I'm putting a bonding agent right over it so it'll tackify and bond both pieces together. Basically a cement for the cement. Just like stucco. So I just applied an emulsifier, and that's going to allow me to keep the concrete soft while I'm working it and not let it get too far ahead of me. So I'll still be able to carve it and give it that nice rock texture that we want at the end. I got the guys over there, we're still working on that fire pit while I'm over here by myself working on this. homeowner decided to bring in topsoil so we could grow grass around that new patio. All right, here we are. It's 4 o'clock on day 2. We've been pushing it since about 6 o'clock this morning. The wall's up, fire pit's in, the other wall's done, the scratch coat is on for the veneer. What we're doing is we're prepping for the pour for tomorrow morning. We got about 13 yards of concrete coming in, and we're gonna get all the patio done tomorrow, and that'll be a big push. So we're just wrapping it up, and then we'll get home, get rest, and come be back in the morning. Morning, we're here on day 3, prepping for the pour. We got here a little early today, set up most of our forms, and we're getting rebar down. The rebar is reinforcement for the patio, just another safety precaution for controlling the New England winters around here. So we got a big day today, pouring. We got 13 yards of concrete. We're gonna do this whole patio all at once. 2 trucks coming. It's gonna be a good day.
Hey Josh, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. Hey, Corey.
How's it going? Good to see you.
This is Corey from Stonemakers. He's one of their trainers. He decided to come out and grace us with his presence today. He's going to help us out with our flat pour because we're a little undermanned today. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited to be here and get this work done today. Looks like a great little site. Got a good day going on. So excited to be here.
Then we heard an unexpected noise in the distance. That concrete truck is early. So this morning I called the concrete company and told them to push it back about a half hour because we needed a little extra time. They're a half hour early. Awesome. So what we got here is we got the Stonemakers mix that we're adding to the concrete to emulsify it and plasticize it a little bit. Just about to add it to the truck once I get some water in it. Pouring's going good. We're running at a good pace. They're cranking it right out. We're about halfway through our load, I believe, and we'll just keep plugging away and see how it goes.
So right now I'm just starting to do the texturing on the surface. This is really what brings the patio to life. It's a little bit early, it's a little bit soft still, but I figure if I don't start now, by the time I get to some of these other parts, it's going to be a little too hard.
The second truck was sitting on deck down at the end of the driveway. As soon as we were done with the concrete in the first truck, the second truck moved right in. We've got about 25% of the patio left, cruising right along still, making good time. All right, we got Brian over here. He's the new guy. He's running a rake. Carl's actually learning how to bull float. Rebecca's teaching him the ins and the outs of that. I got Nathan on the backside. He's texturing what we poured off the first truck load. And Corey, he's just pretty much straightening it out and running the show. We're right at the end of the pour, just coming up. We got about 3/4 of a yard left, so we made it. I was worried there. They poured a little thick in that first truck, so I didn't know if we were going to make it to the end. But we got just a little bit left. Someone will get some good waste concrete. So we're at the texturing phase. It's been about 3 hours since we poured. The concrete's just getting hard enough where he can go out and be on top of a mat and hit it with a tamper. Gives it, mostly it's just for the surface texture, but the deepest textures go down about an inch, inch and a half, and we're cruising right along. He's textured just about 1/3 to almost a half of the patio, and they're just wrapping up the other side of the patio on the pour. The truck just leaving now, so we're good. Okay, so we're done texturing. Pulling the forms off because it's hard enough, and we're going to start actually loaming around this side and get it a little finished. And then the homeowner was a little unhappy about the fire pit, so we're gonna make some adjustments on that. See, it's big there.
Yeah.
So first thing when I got here this morning, Linda came out and told me she didn't like the fire pit. She said it's too high, the opening's not big enough, and it kind of looks like a volcano. So what we decided to do is widen the top from a 22-inch width out to like a 32-inch width. What that'll do is it'll open the mouth of the fire, which will make it easier to see. Plus, we've got 4 inches of concrete on the patio deck now, so she should be up a little higher over it. We'll see how she likes it when it comes out. We've got Corey widening it with the grinder right now. We decided to spread some of that loam that the homeowner brought in, while Corey was working on the fire pit, chipping away, and chipping away. All in all, Corey worked on that fire pit for 4 hours. So we're almost done with the loam. Corey's still plugging away at the fire pit. We pulled out a bigger saw to see if it'd go a little faster. You know, the beautiful thing about the Stonemaker's product is it's really strong, but that's not such a beautiful thing if you got to fix something, because it's really hard. At the end of day 3, when Corey had worked on the fire pit for 4.5 hours, the homeowner still didn't like it. So what did we do? We came in at the beginning of day 4 and we cut 7 inches off of it. If after all that she didn't like it, I was going to go drown myself in the pond. While I was cutting the fire pit in half, the long way, Carl got started on cutting stone shapes into the patio. After cutting down the fire pit, we retopped it much the same way we did the wall on the left side of the house where we ran out of concrete. This fire pit is made out of a 5,000 psi grout mix, but it is still just a normal concrete, so as the direct heat touches it, it will crack as it expands. So what we do is we put a fire-resistant brick, much like what's in your wood stove at home, and then we also glue that in with a fire-resistant mortar, and that will keep the direct heat from touching the grout mix and cracking it. So as soon as we're done with this, we're going to get on to staining. And when we're done with that, we're going to get on to sealing. So as we were staining, some dark clouds started to roll in, and then it started to rain again. Right now it started to rain, so what we're doing is we're working under the tents. Carl's drying off the seam in between, so when the water hits it, it won't fade the stain. Luckily, it didn't rain that long, So we were able to get right back to it and keep up our normal pace. So we're at in the final step of making this look like real stone. We've gone through, we poured the concrete, we've put our texture mats over it, we've given it that awesome texture. Now what we're doing is we're putting the stain in, and the stain is going to get into the deep grooves of that texture and make the color really jump out at you. So this is really where you start to get the wow factor. Wow, that does look like real stone. So here we are, we're a couple hours from being done. I say couple hours, never mind. I should never say couple hours because it's always 5-6 hours after I say a couple hours. So we're plugging away, staining everything. We have made a little bit of progress on the patio, but right now we're working on the wall and the fire pit. Fire pit is about 65% done. Wall is about 30% done. And just gonna keep plugging away. So we're closing in on it. I'm finishing up this wall. Carl's over there finishing up the patio. We'll check in with the homeowner, see what they think, and then we're out of here. So what do you think?
I like it. I think it's beautiful.
Came out great. What do you think of the fire pit, hon?
I like the fire pit. I know we had some issues in the beginning, and it was a little high. It wasn't really what I wanted.
Well,
Yeah, I think
the
it was
wall
definitely
casing.
worth the time put in.
Yeah, it's the right size for me. So for me, it's great. I like it, and the wall looks good.
yeah, I think you did a great job blending it into the foundation of the house
Yeah.
too. So
You guys did an amazing job. It's beautiful. It's
total transformation.
yeah. I mean, it's changed the whole backyard.
It is
It's
quite a difference from
fantastic.
what we had a week ago.
Hard to believe.
It's amazing.
And you're going to have guests here this weekend, so you'll be able to entertain on it right away.
Yep. Yeah. Hopefully,
24 hours.
weather will hold, and we'll be out here all weekend long. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I thank you for your hard work,
Yeah,
you and your team.
Came out great.
And thank you for making all the little adjustments for us along the way. I know that that's not easy and frustrating, but I think in the end it's well worth it.
All in all, the project went pretty good. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And it seemed like it was raining every day. But at the end, the customers were happy with their new fire pit and their outdoor entertaining area. This is Josh Whittaker, signing off.